Hi Melissa, this is Dennis Clark, and this is a video review of your lesson from today. I'll do you and Jeff on the same tape here. So a couple things to remember. We did move your left hand grip over. That's going to be important for now. The problem that you run into in golf is that you have too vertical of a motion, and I'm going to show you what that means. When you take the club back for your backswing, I want you to see how you stand it straight up with the wrist cocked pretty early. You see how that's, oops, take that out of there. You see how straight up and down that club is? Okay, when you do that, you open the club face tremendously. The club should be pointed over at the ball at this point. Let's see, I'm going to show you a model from a professional, and you'll get some idea what I mean here. See if I have a good female professional here to show you. Let's try this, yeah. Let's take this over here. Now granted this is her driver, but I'm going to use it for an example anyway. When you turn your shoulders and don't set your wrist that fast, you see how the club gets on an angle like this? That's kind of what we were doing a little bit later in the swing. So we need to take some of that early wrist set out of there for you. This is, oops, let's go back up here. This is a male professional, Sergio Garcia, but you can see what I mean about a better angle. You know, and he's one of the steeper ones out there too, so you don't ever want to get it quite that vertical. Because your face, you can't tell this, but your face is just, the club face right here is wide open, it really is. Okay. And what we did was we changed your little pattern of the way you hold the club by moving your left hand over. I want you to take a look at another part of the backswing. It's really important for golf, and it's not that detailed. It's just, see how nice and flat his wrist is there? That's real important in golf. You take your left hand and you just make it nice and flat, like right on the club there. Do you see, if you look closely at yours, you have a big cup in your wrist there. See that cup in your left wrist there? Yeah, that makes the club come down vertically. Your swing's a little long, but that's okay. And it comes down fairly steeply. And we're going to show you what I mean by that. Now, when he comes down to about this far, look at the angle that his club's on. So your downswing there and his downswing right now are pretty much at the same point, but you're seeing a golf club that's on an angle that represents 48 degrees versus one that's on an angle of 68 degrees. So it's 20 degrees more upright. And that's the thing we like to train you for in golf as time goes on, is to how to get the club to be a little more horizontal in your swing. One of the things we're going to do is we're going to get your right arm to work a little differently. Notice how his right arm is tucked into his body there? It's tucked right into his body. There it is. See how yours goes out like this? Yeah, and his is much more down like this. That's what we're going to work on, is to try to get you to feel more of a baseball type of swing. Golf is nothing more than like hitting a baseball. You know, if the baseball was here, you'd swing around nice and flat to hit it. Well, as soon as you put the thing on the ground, a lot of people chop down on it, and that's what this club's going to do right here. So we're teaching you what's called a different plane of your swing, and you can see where you hit this. You barely hit the very end of the toe of the club there, which is very typical of. You see that contact point there? You're just barely ticking the toe of the club, which is very typical of an upright swing. So you have your club on a Ferris wheel, more or less, and we need a little more merry-go-round in it. So you kind of started here, and then you end up there. So we're going to try to get you back to a nice position. Okay, so that's that turn of the shoulders that I was talking about for you. That will help you a lot. I've got one from the side for you too. There you go. Now from this position, I want you to notice how when you set up to the golf ball, you have a perfect letter Y here, kind of. You see that your arms are fully extended in front of you. We call that triangle in front of your body. That's good. That's where you should be. Okay, with a little more tilt of your body back this way. More about that in a minute. But the objective now, if you think about it logically, you got to try to get back down to the ball here, and you'd want to get back to that position. Obviously, you'd want to get those arms nice and fully extended. And you're going to notice that they're not. You see your arms? Now, we have your arms looking like this. Okay, at the impact. Okay, so there's where you started, and there's where your arms go to when you hit it. So that comes from kind of scooping the ball. Okay, we can get the arms nice and fully extended. I'll show you a model. This is a gal who plays professionally. I taught as a junior player and more even lately. See the arms? See how nice and extended they are, particularly the left arm. Over here, you're fighting that look. And that's what we'd like to get rid of. And that'll really give you a lot of power, too. Notice when she comes through the ball here, she rolls her arm completely over. The forearm is completely, the palm of her right hand is completely supinated. The palm of her left hand is completely pronated. And that's what we call release, rolling your arms over through the ball. It's a big power source in golf. See, her glove disappeared over here, but we can still see your glove because there's no rollover release there. Okay, so let's make all this quite simple, actually. We're going to say that what we would like you to do is, I'm going to put my other disc back in here to help you out here. So what we've got here is a pretty good setup. We're going to get a little more tilt. We're going to make sure the left hand stays there. We're going to learn to let the club swing more around the body, not so up and down. And when we get rid of that cup in the left wrist, this club won't be so vertical and chop downy. And if we get rid of that chopping down type of motion, you're much more likely to get your arms extended through the ball. And that's what we had today. So what we'd want here is just fully extension to your arms. And we want to let those arms roll over so that it doesn't look like that. It looks more like that. Okay? So, but that's a good beginning for you. So you did really well today, especially you have some good speed, and you started to realize that you can hit the ball further if you just do it a little more correctly. Left hand grip, swinging the club more around, full extension of your arms coming into the ball. Okay? And I know that's going to help you. And let's pick out your hubby here. Okay, Jeff. With the iron, we got to watch this lean in thing, okay? So this is really critical. This is when you get in front of the ball. And you're going to see here, not a bad turn. It's a little short, but it's not bad. But watch what your body does now. You see it leans into, and the club comes over the top a little bit. Now that's not bad with an iron. This club should be pointed down at the golf ball. Oops. This club should be pointed down at the golf ball. So that's not too bad with the plane of the iron there. I'd like to have it a little flatter if I could in coming in there. But it's not too bad. But you can still see it still comes from the outside. It comes less from the outside on your irons, but if you can make that out there, I got it a little magnified if you can see it better here. Here is the here's the golf ball kind of right here. And your club's pretty far outside of it. You're going to hit it on the heel or shank it. And that's from that leaning in and coming over the top. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean. Hopefully this video will get to you so you can study some of this, but watch this. Now here comes the, look at the fall of his hands there. You see that difference where he drops the hands down so well? That's your key. I'm going to put a little tracer on his hands here, so let's watch this. See how vertical that is? If it's a vertical drop, it gets up to the top and he just lets the hands fall here. That's the secret. Look how far down he is, and look at his back is still turned pretty much to the target. He has not unwound his shoulders all that much at all. And yours is fairly typical. I think it's gotten definitely better since last time. That's a pretty good turn there, really. I like that turn there. We're going to make a trace on your hand path here. You see how much more out it goes? See, it goes out this way. And his is, if I drew a line on a rough estimate of his incline is like 71, and a rough estimate is like, 15 degrees more out. See where his hands are at this point in the swing? This is critical. He's about down about the same point that you are in terms of the downswing. His hands, if I draw a line down it, it's still under his right shoulder. It's still right over his knees. You see how far out your hands have gotten, Jeff? Out by your head here. We've got to learn to drop them down behind your back. That's going to be when you have your big breakthrough. Okay? And that causes, when you lean into it and come over the top like that, that causes that shaft to get way more vertical. He's at 47. He's got the club through his right arm. You're at 66. Much steeper. See where the club is laying through his right forearm? Okay, yours is through your chest or left arm there. That's that much more vertical. And what that causes you to do now is watch what your body does here. See, it's going to pull up a little bit. You can see it's coming up. Now when you get to the driver, it gets a little bit more inclined to do that. Let's put it that way. Okay, got a good one from the side here. Okay, and we got, show you model. There's that nice tilt that I like. From his hands up to his head, looks like that. Bisecting his body, okay? That's why we like that tilt. You don't want to get too straight up and down. The right shoulder, if I drew a line from his shoulder to his left shoulder, you see that? That's pretty much across there when that right shoulder, and this goes for your wife too, Melissa. We have to have that little tilt back like that. Okay, not bad there. Pretty good turn. Shoulders a little bit flat, we call too parallel to the ground there. His are going to be a little bit steeper. You're going to see his shoulder go down a little bit more. But you're doing better with your weight transfer. You're definitely doing better with the length of your swing. It's not as short as it was. Now here's the secret to playing really better golf. When you come down, stay back, release the arms past you. When you come down, stay back, release the arms past you. Okay, so here's what we got to watch now. See the body, it starts to go ahead and then it stands up. Okay, we've lost all that tilt that we had. Watch Rory coming down here. When he starts down, he still has that tilt to his body. Yeah? We can't stand into it like this. That's just turning. That's just turning as if you're going to hit a softball there. We've got to get that pitch to that shoulders, and now the body has to back up. And here's the big thing about this release, why I give you that split grip drill. This will be the biggest difference that you'll see. Watch him go through here. Look at that. Right arm rolls right over the left, and they're fully extended through the ball. See, I can see no glove on his hand, his left hand at all. He's pronated and supinated perfectly. This is a chicken wing with the left arm and a little bit of a block there. I think we found there's a good camera angle. Good. I'm glad we did that, so we get a good camera angle for you there. Grip's looking better. Keep that left hand over. Tilt back a little bit more. Finish that turn. Finish that turn. Really good there. Getting much better at getting behind that ball. Your head and your body have turned nicely behind it. Now let's try to keep you there. There's a little lean in with the body. There's with the leaned in with the body, and we opened the shoulders really pretty early, didn't we? So watch Rory comes down here. Look, he's got those shoulders closed a really long time. His hands get really low, and his back is still at that target. You see that post he's turned against? Look, his shoulders won't get squared to that target until he's almost down to the ball. You see how early the shoulders have opened here a little bit? They're already square to the ball right now. So that's that turning back into it like you might a pitch in baseball. And that's what causes you to go back. And this right here is as big a reason for the block slice that you're hitting as any. You see where where he rolls his arms over beautifully. Watch this roll over. Roll over. Just like he's doing that split grip drill. That's called releasing the club. And yours gets a little blocked. So as soon as we can start to feel like you're behind it, you'll start to feel the release. Your arms can extend, and then we won't see that glove hand at all. You'll just see it rolled under the right there. Okay. So good job. You're doing better. We're just going to keep working with you until you can get these things. By the way, when you get this video, if you guys double click on the screen, you'll get it in full screen. Hopefully you'll get this one. I don't know where address I had. Let me see. I think you'll get this. All right. See you on my